Now we're cooking. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Bringing them out will be Kirk Cousins, born just outside of Chicago, played his college ball for the Spartans at Michigan State.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins in his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24-23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced itself to each other in the huddle before the first snap in Seattle against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around it.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 24 carries, 123 yards.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
The Vikings' top 2 receivers match up with any pair in the NFL, and I'm talking about Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. And how about this? Both underdog success stories. Diggs, a 5th rounder in 2015. Adam Thielen, undrafted in 2014. Now they're helping set the pace for wide receivers in the league.
On second down, Cook. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They go play action. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
A fourth-rounder back in 2012 out of Iowa, Mike Daniels, has been about as good a fourth-rounder as you could hope for. A strong defensive tackle, named an alternate selection to the Pro Bowl after the 2017 season. Why? Ability to play the point of attack, and also get upfield and spill plays in the backfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Off the play fake, Cousins going deep for Diggs. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tramon Williams there to break that one up.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at the 34. Working from the gun, Rodgers. This is caught with a catch right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
I'm focusing in on Everson Griffin, who's coming off of 3 straight Pro Bowl appearances and tied for 4th in sacks with a career-high 13 in 2017. Really anchors the defensive front of the Minnesota Vikings. Can get sacks in flurries, in bunches. A hard guy to keep away from a quarterback.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And able to find Graham, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end Graham. Packer first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. It gets it over the middle of the column. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay first.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Throwing is Rodgers, and that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Rodgers again now. Open man is Allison, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
but
3rd
all for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for... Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Trey Waynes. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
Holding defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. What? Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Cousins on first down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A give. This is Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Play action now. Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. And it's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. He'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
Getting ready to go as they take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground. Did
you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got some space here. And he slides to avoid the hit. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And with a play clock about to expire, Mike McCarthy's going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On first down, Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Rodgers now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
319!
Rodgers going to give this one to Montgomery. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Cousins now on 2nd down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still 2nd down.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field.
Illegal block in the back.
So let's see about the call.
Still second down.
Cook following the penalty. Flashed the nice move, but only able to get to the 10 with it. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be third and a mile. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
And getting our first update now from Nashville. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still first down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flushed out right. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Geronimo Allison the target there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And he fires one incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end,
second down.
he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. Throwing is Cousins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tramon Williams there to break that one up.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Cousins. And he finds Cook. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a 1-yard gain of the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Right back to him on first down. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Rodgers hands to Montgomery. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Linval Joseph able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now Rodgers. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. And this is the 10th carry for Ty Montgomery. About 3 yards there to the 27. Now we're going to get a halt in the action because Ty Montgomery is shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, this from 39. And Crosby puts it through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. They start the drive with Cook, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Second down, Cousins. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. First down, here's the run with Cook. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. From the gun, here's Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kenny Clark able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will... Be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers. or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding.
Offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
319! 26!
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
319! 319!
On second down, here's Rodgers. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. Well, they're going to have some space here on the free kick.
You're exactly right about that. They just wish that they could have the free kick and not give up the 2 points.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Taking it about the 16. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Cousins now on 2nd down. toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They go play action. Cousins. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And that'll bring up 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Here's Matt Wild now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. Sheds off the tackle. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And with a play clock about to expire, Mike McCarthy's going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. Now a play fake. Rodgers. He can run for it, and he will. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The 13 yards that time of the first.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Cousins on first down. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Packers on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. To throw from his end zone. Rodgers, flush to his right. He's got his target. It's caught. And they work this out past the 25. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
We always talk about our admiration for quarterbacks who can extend the life of a play and create another play off of one that appears to have broken down. Should we come up with a different term for Aaron Rodgers? Because he has taken it to a new level.
He loves life outside of the pocket, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Very comfortable out there, and he usually results in good things for Green Bay.
Now a play fake here on first down. And left. Here it's Graham. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this
Personal
thing.
foul, face mask, defense.
Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge
Automatic
play.
first down.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work his way down to the 16. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And able to find Graham, complete. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run. This is Williams fighting him off. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The Packers on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That is caught by Cobb. And it's a Packer touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. Here comes Sherrills. Oh, eluding the tackle. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They run it again with Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Holding offense.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Play fake. Cousins. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the second half at FedEx Field now. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Off the play fake, Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Mike Daniels in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Matt Wild now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. This will be fielded at the 17.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Rodgers going to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Linval Joseph in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
First down. Here's Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the 2-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To the air again, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Throwing is Cousins. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
his position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They go play action here on first down. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Cousins again. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Morgan. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done.
Start offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. And here is motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. Again, it's Cousins. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on 2nd and goal. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. On play action, Cousins. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, they certainly didn't get what they wanted on that play. That means it's a big-time decision on what you call on 4th down.
Absolutely, because a field goal here doesn't do him much good. Pressure gets there, and he goes down. Now there's also a flag, but this might be on the offense anyway.
Offense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A give to Jones. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell them to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. He's back to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Man, you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Clay Matthews in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start. Offense.
But no reason for that from any wide receiver.
Oftentimes, you don't even hear the snap count, right? You just look inside, make sure the ball moves, then you take off. How he didn't do that is beyond me.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Back to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming, the Hail Mary. They just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So for Green Bay, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they will fall to 1-1. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.